Hello and welcome to all the men and women of the West. I'm Joe. Now I have to get this out of the way. I am making this video under duress. And I have to be clear. This is a really bad movie. This is just... Oh my gosh, I didn't want to watch it. But you can blame Eleanor Zhang. She talked me into it. And... wow. This... Yeah, okay. So this is the quality of what's probably in Rings of Power. Honestly, oof. You know, this is supposed to be about Helm Hammerhand and him passing the torch to his nephew. That's what this is about. Under Tolkien, at least. I have no idea what I just saw. What the hell is this? Okay, so first off, Helm's daughter, I refuse to call her by the name they gave her, because the name they give her is that of a Greek goddess who's really cool in Greek mythology, so I'm not going to insult what's a traditional classical literary character and figure we should respect and honor as part of our literary heritage. So I'm not going to do that. Let me think of a suitable name. Let's see. I wonder if there's a term. Okay, we'll just call it Mary Sue. So, Helm's daughter, Mary Sue, is apparently the greatest warrior in all of Rohan. She doesn't make mistakes. She's so great she could perhaps someday unite Rohan, Gondor, hell, even Mordor, because let's just throw that one in there too. The thing is, the visuals surrounding the character is pretty good. But the themes that surround her, how shall I put it? She ends up teaming up partway through the movie with one chick, and it just... Yeah, I know I should start at the Helm Hammerhand point, but the movie doesn't even start at that point. Helm doesn't even play a role in this film. He's a background character in his own darn movie. And, you know, the plot develops with him discussing the possibility of his daughter marrying Wolf and, you know, the story. He kills the people who offend him with his bare hands and becomes known as Hammerhand. And the problem is that he's overshadowed, shunted aside. His natural heir, Freylof, is shunted aside because, you know, we can't honor and respect Tolkien. We can't. If we did that, okay, let's call a spade. We'd be honoring an Anglo-Saxon. We can't be honoring Anglo-Saxons. Screw them. That might give them ideas that, you know, they have human value. And if I sound at all frustrated, it's because I am. Honestly, this subversive, deconstructive, Marxist nonsense is getting so darn tiring. Nobody actually likes this. Who was this marketed to? Oh, we gotta overshadow Freylof and Helm. Why? I mean, seriously, why? Helm is cool. Why would you overshadow him? You could have had a great coming-of-age story. Instead, you had Girl Boss. And Girl Boss ends up complaining she doesn't want the marriage, but then she's not happy no matter what with Helm. It's just more of this Marxist feminist nonsense. And I don't want to be political, but this movie is so darn political. Like I said, it's been asked of me to make this video and to check out the movie, so my gosh, I can't even say it. I did, and I walked out because this wants so desperately to be Mononoke Hime, and it just isn't Princess Mononoke. It lacks Miyazaki's talent and grace. And while the man has problems, no one can deny his animation talent. This really should not have been an anime. I'm just going to be honest. This should have been done with Western animation style. Why not just hire Don Bluth? Oh, wait. Don would have demanded respect for Tolkien's work. Something that, Amazon and WB can't afford. Because that requires more than $1 billion. That requires a soul. This is just... It's just mind-numbing and soul-sucking. Just how bad this is. And just how little the bean counters and the other people, the people who worked on this, are towards Tolkien. And they're midgets standing in the shadow of a giant. And they fancy themselves the ones casting the shadow. But they don't have the talent or the intellect or the greatness or even the goodness of the good professor or his magnificent son Christopher. This movie should not have been made. I'll just come out of the gate. Now you can disagree with me. You'll be wrong, but you can disagree with me. But we all know for a fact this was not as good as it should have been. The messaging, the themes, everything was off. Mary Sue should not have been the lead. Now, I'm not against having a good female lead. Why not have Haleth? Or have... Let me think. Why not make their own universe? I know they can't create because they just can't. They don't have the talent for it. But if they had just created their own thing, or had someone else create it for them that was not Tolkien, this story probably might have been able to work with some tweaks. But even then, they need to tweak the female lead so that she's female, not a male wearing the skin suit of a female character. That's the problem. This is not a good story. This was not a good movie. The animation is mediocre at best. I'm serious. It's mediocre. I'm an animation student. I know my animation. This was mediocre. This was middling. I have classmates who could do better than this. Or had classmates that could do better than this. It was just a disgrace. And oh my gosh, the writing. If you want good writing, check out Crown of Blood. The description will be down below. You can decide for yourself how much better I am than these clowns. And Crown of Blood is just $1. So it's not going to cost you much to read it and find out just how much better at writing I am than these clowns. And that's not me being a narcissist or an egotist. But my dog could write a better story than this. And could animate it better. Mary Sue, all the characters lack the depth and the beauty of Tolkien's Legendarium. In the actual story, Helm dies on his feet, is a magnificent warrior and hero. He's a flawed individual, but he does his utmost to protect his clan, his family, and his nation. He's honestly a really fascinating character. And had there been a proper movie made, there probably would have been it would have been great. Very inspiring stuff. But this is not it. I guarantee you in 20 or 30 years, when we've cleared the air of this noxious nonsense, there will be a great movie made. But in the current year, you can't make a movie of any decent quality of Helm Hammerhand. Well, maybe you could if you staffed it entirely with Japanese or Chinese writers or French writers. I don't know. Well, French writers, it would depend on the writer, because there's a lot of them that lack talent these days. But you'd have to be careful with which studio you go with. But I guarantee you it'll be either an Asian or a mainland European company that could probably do a good job with it someday. It can't be made in this year. And my hypothetical situation would have to wait like 20 years before you can make anything. So once again, don't forget to check out Crown of Blood. Don't forget to also check out my Substack, which will be in the description down below, because, you can check out my other writings there. So, yeah, subscribe there, and don't forget, if you want to support the channel, you can go there and pay in. It's a $10 fee for a paid subscription for a year, and with that you get access to all my serial novels and even some of my paywalled essays. And yeah, so don't forget to have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe here if you want, and do remember to support my writing. And yeah, and honestly, to Eleanor Zhang, I never want to watch a movie like this again. So yeah, I don't know why I ended up watching this, but I hope you're happy. I suffered. So take care, everyone. And I don't actually mean it when I say darn you, Eleanor. Actually, real quick, she's reading Greek mythology and literature and Silmarillion stuff. So I'm going to recommend everyone try reading the Odyssey or something. It's a great story. Do that instead of watching this.